Good day, ladies and gentlemen, this is Professor Ma. In this series, Professor Ma will explain the reasons behind some of the unique aspects of Singapore life. Most workplaces in Singapore start at 9 a.m., but primary and secondary schools start earlier at 7:30 a.m. This means that most students have to wake up by 6:15 a.m. in order to get ready for school and to travel to school. The reason for schools starting at 7:30 a.m. has somewhat changed over the years, so we will go all the way to the beginning, which is 1957. At that time, there was a shortage of school buildings and facilities, so the double session system was introduced in 1957. School facilities were maximized by holding 2 school sessions in a day to ensure that every child of school-going age had the opportunity to receive an education. Essentially, the morning session would start at 7:30 a.m. and end at 1 p.m., while the afternoon session would start at 1 p.m. and end at 6:30 p.m. To ensure fairness, students switched sessions every year. For example, if a student was morning session in Primary 1, the next year he or she would be in afternoon session in Primary 2. Therefore, the reason for schools starting so early at that time was because there was a need to accommodate 2 sessions of students. In January 1986, the Ministry of Education launched a pilot project in 20 schools to study the impact of a single session system. The study found many benefits from implementing such a system in schools since school facilities are used by only 1 session of students. With access to school resources and facilities for the whole day, schools enjoyed greater flexibility in timetabling and could introduce more after-school enrichment programs such as remedial lessons and extracurricular activities. The study also reported better coordination and consultation among school staff. Closer bonds between teachers and pupils formed over informal and organized school activities that took place after school hours, as well as a more cohesive school community as the entire student body and staff could come together. In view of the positive results, the Education Ministry decided to implement the single session system in all schools. This involved constructing more school buildings. In addition, the falling birth rate also caused the number of students enrolled each year to drop. By 2009, all secondary schools were operating in single session mode, and by 2016 all primary schools were also single session as well. Despite the full conversion to single session, most primary and secondary schools continued to start at 7:30 a.m. The reason for this was due to the constraints of the country's transport infrastructure. As mentioned earlier, most workplaces start at 9 a.m., as most Singapore residents take less than 1.5 hours to travel from their home to their workplace. Starting school at 7:30 a.m. would mean that the adults would not need to squeeze with students on public transport in the mornings, since the students would already be in school by 7:30 a.m. In subsequent videos, Professor Ma will explain more aspects of Singaporean life. In the meantime, please help by liking and by subscribing. Thank you.